Okay, we will try to do just a quick update on where we stand. The biggest breakthrough is the wiring is the harness has all been rewired, rerouted, stripped and shortened and lengthened, and now it fits. I got two wires back here that I got to pull out. They go down to the transmission plugs. I missed them earlier, which I got to rewrap it and shit anyway, so it's no big deal. Let's see, we got the mass air coming over here because I'm pretty sure air intake is going to end up over there. All the wire, the throttle position, IAC, water temp, and crank sensor, was this one, are all going to run under the intake. Excuse me. I have swapped all of the pin controls for driver and bank 1, bank 2, driver passenger side injectors and coils. Those are all repinned. O2 sensors, I shortened up the connectors. They'll plug in right up at the top. All the grounds are going over to one head bolt. The 3 grounds. I could have simplified it to 2, but I ended up putting a separate ground in for coils and injectors and whatever. Harness is mostly taped up going back there. I gotta undo it again. It's no big deal, it's just black tape. And run this crank sensor wire in. I wanted to run it down in behind the back somewhere, but the headers are just so close to the engine that there's really nowhere to run the crank sensor wire over there. So I'm going to run it down and around the front. It's no big deal. Yeah, all the wires on the computer, I mean, some of them were, 6 feet out here long. So I got everything all cut down. But there's the pile of wires that's left over that are actually on wires you need, but they're just way too long. So that's where we stand. I still got to just hook up the fuse block now, like Brandon on LT1 there, the way he shows his block. That Project Rowdy, I think, on YouTube, he does a pretty good wiring video on his stuff. But yeah, so I got to wire in that fuse block, and then I got these wires, the 4 low signal, I got these output speed sensors. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use them. Check engine light, OBD, stuff like that. Reverse lights, brakes lights, brake switch, whatever. All that stuff's over here too. And then these. So these 3 groups of wires are going to become whatever, 2 groups of wires eventually. So yeah, that's where we stand there. I think I can go under here. So the shift linkage that I ended up making, I found some mini Heim joints that were a decent deal on Amazon, I think. And the pair was right around $5 or $6, so I bought, a couple. Used some threaded rod, and yeah, now the shifter works. I made a nylon bushing there, and see, it's so hard to get a light. There we go. This bracket's nice and rigid now. I just added this to what I made originally. And yeah, I made a bushing in there, but I don't think that one's gonna stay. It was just something I was trying to do to stop this from being so sloppy. And I made these bushings here to space the linkage out away from the Heim joint, so It just gives it some room to operate without binding. And yeah, they worked out pretty good. So there's a shift linkage. Anyway, that come out good. And yeah, see all of these wires. You know, that speed sensor wire up there. And selection switch here. And then the big gray plug is on the other side. I haven't wrapped any of them. And I gotta pull a couple wires out of this plug right here anyway. So, but yeah, anyway, that's where we're at. And I got, yesterday I got all my fuel line and all my fittings. I got relays and power blocks here. Fuse block. This is kind of cool. I had to get. A 1350 to 1310 U-joint. Hopefully that'll work. But yeah, that's where she's at.